Hello, Glenn Parker, High Vibration Foundation. I wanted to talk today about a higher vibrational diet, eating a little better, being a little better to yourself. I find usually in the morning I have some fruits. For breakfast, actually, I have a banana, and everything I'll say is organic, so as organic as you can. And before we get into anything else, there's something a contrast that I like to put in there, because I've been in a grocery store where a couple of people are in the organic section and they're laughing and they're like, why would you buy that? And I walked up and said, well, let me ask you a question. Do you drink bottled water or do you drink tap water? And they looked at me, doggy head for a second, and went, well, we drink bottled water. I think we're crazy. And I'm like, well, I pointed at the one section, well, there's bottled water, your organics, and the other section, there's your tap water. As a matter of fact, some of the things in the organic sections, if they go through the process and they get random testing, if it depends on who is regulating it. If it's beyond a certain toxicity level, or if it has too much of this or that in it, it goes into the regular section. So effectively, you're buying food that has been, I would say rejected, but in some cases yes. But it's it's a higher toxicity. It has a holistic amount of this and that. Sometimes not so holistic. Sometimes higher toxicity levels in some of these things. And when you're trying to reach a higher vibrational state, or when you're trying to be more peaceful and more loving and more unconditional, these things are adjutants, they're aggravants, they're aggravants, whatever. A lot of them are inflammatory agents that are in there, and inflammation is an adjutant of some sort. Can contribute to a lot of different things, diabetes, high blood pressure, all kinds of things. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not professing to know a ton about this process, but there's some basic things. If you're slightly poisoned every single day from your food sources, the likelihood that you're going to have as long a lifespan or be quite as happy, or having other thresholds in the future of other health issues, probably would be higher. I don't know, that's just common sense to me. And I've had some personal experiences that, I ate whatever, well, not whatever, I was pretty picky, didn't drink, really didn't smoke, all that good stuff. And, but my body didn't like it. And when I eat along a certain line, my body's pretty happy, sensitive, very sensitive to things. So let's say, for instance, for breakfast, I have an apple, like a Granny Smith apple, a little less sugar than a regular apple, like maybe half a Granny Smith, and an orange or a grapefruit. All of this, again, is organic. And a banana. And I'll mix some flaxseed meal with that, and all these things are optional into taste, into caloric count, because when you have something like that in the morning, if you're not going to have a lot of physical activity, and you got to kind of watch, you might have too many calories and a lot of sugar calories, which could very easily turn into fat. So I put a little bit of oil, like extra virgin olive oil, or a high omega oil, like a flaxseed oil, or they have the 369, which is like a fish oil that has stevia and some other things in it, which is really tasty, actually, like an orange one or something to that effect. And I'll put a high quality oil in there, and the oil binds with the sugars and they burn off a lot slower. And that works really well. And then I use like the raw meal, or the raw protein, and so that I have some protein with my breakfast. And depending if you're vegan or not, you can throw in some yogurt for probiotics, and yogurt's basically pre-digested milk. Probiotics have broken it down, so it's very bioavailable, it's very easy to uptake, it's very fast for the metabolism. This is great if you're going to work out in the morning, because your sugars and whatnot, you don't need just regular carbs. You can use that as fuel energy. And if you want a little bit, if you are going to work out, or if you just need a lot of energy in the morning and you want to kind of tip off the coffee or other types of things, add some B vitamins in there, a nice B complex, or some vitamins that are rich in B complexes. I'll have some links down below here for a couple different things. So that works out really good for breakfast, and for any meal, depending, and just you need to know where your sugar content is, and how much you're going to burn off of all that stuff. And then detoxing, I'll have some detox tea in the morning and throughout the day. I'll alternate different ones. I'll have a link here to my favorite place. I think for higher vibration detoxing, I found personally, And I think the analogy that I like the best about detoxing is, let's consider yourself like a vehicle, a car, or any kind of mechanical thing. A car is an excellent analogy. And because you are a very complex vehicle, you're a biochemical vehicle. You have some of the most sophisticated biochemical processes imaginable going on in your body every moment. And there's a lot of artifacts that come off of that. You're a machine, you're burning at almost 100 degrees, and you're burning oxygen along with that to oxidize things. So when you hear antioxidants, like the shake in the morning, it's all it is antioxidants. So you're helping the machine. And you know, when you don't have a lot of antioxidants, a lot of people experience high inflammatory rates, and that is a contributor to lots of other nasty things down the line. So detoxing, vehicle, back to that topic. So in a vehicle, if you get a brand new car and you were to be driving it around and you were happy and you could do whatever you wanted, let's say you drove it for a year, you didn't maintenance it, maybe a year and a half. After that, you know, it starts to slow down. Maybe probably starts to slow down before then, but let's say it just stops altogether and you take it to the mechanic and they're like, we haven't done any maintenance and now we need to change the engine out because it's really irreparably damaged. And you're like, well, can't you rebuild it? Yeah, sure, we can do a little bit here, a little bit there. And the same thing is for the human body. Even if you lived on Fiji in the middle of nowhere and all you ate is coconuts, for instance, you would still have toxicity in your body because the natural biochemical process of your body, burning at almost 100 degrees, it requires oxidate, you know, it requires these really sophisticated biochemical processes. So imagine you are a car and the core components like an air filter and the oil filter and things like that, you know, you never change them on your car. Well, most people treat their body that way. They don't detox, they don't clear things out, and your liver, gallbladder, and your kidneys, and your stomach, which is, you know, is the mother of all, the digestion is the mother of everything in your body. Nothing gets created without some food, and you know, colloidal minerals and ingredients that are key to reconstructing your body. Because you have a new body every 7 years. Effectively, every cell after 7 years has been replaced. And there is a lot going on in there. So imagine like your liver, your kidney, and your digestive tract and gallbladder and all those good little things as things in your car that need to be... You can't replace them, at least not at this point in time. At least not easily. But you can clean them out, and you can make them a lot more effective. So as they're straining things out of your blood, so for instance, if you're cleaning out your blood and something that's in there that repetitively needs to be dumped back in your stomach, and the toxins in your stomach have never been cleaned out, and now they're because your stomach's a bidirectional semi-permeable membrane, it's allowing things back and forth for digestion, but they can pass both ways, especially if there's, you know, if you drink a lot of coffee and your pHs are really off, if you drink a lot of sodas and, you know, things are bad, the membrane gets a lot more malleable for both directions, which is a bad thing. And can you might have a lot of undigested protein, which turns into albumin in the blood and causes all these issues. A lot of that ends up being inflammatory issues. In any case, if your liver and your kidneys and all these other functioning organs can actually clean that stuff out more efficiently and don't have to deal with all this recycled stuff that keeps getting back into the body called auto-intoxication, and that can turn into Herxheimer, which is basically auto-intoxication that sometimes, for instance, when you take an antibiotic and you're really sick and you have a high viral count and you have all that die off that first day or so, you're like, I feel funny and icky, and what's all the virus and all the other stuff dying off all at once. And a lot of times the antibiotics are killing off probiotics in your stomach concurrently, and you're feeling the die off from that as well, and your digestion goes down and all that good stuff. So again, I'm not a doctor, this is just stuff I've gleaned over time that seems to have worked good in my life, and not a healthcare provider of any sort. Naturopath, I do recommend naturopaths, you know, just for getting tune-ups and stuff like that, and getting a dark field done and seeing your blood live, because you glean a lot of information. So basically, cleaning out all the essential organs, if you don't have to get all this auto-intoxication, all the stuff that's stuck and glued in there, and your organs become more efficient, then a lot of other things can happen. You make more of everything that is beneficial for your body, and it gets cleaned out faster, and your immune system generally tends to be higher and at least a lot more active. I mean, you may still have the same white cell count, but they're alive and they're active and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, instead of being like Homer Simpson's ones that's sitting there like, what's going on? So I find that it works overall as a whole process. So eating a more high vibration diet, fruits and vegetables, all organic, during the course of the day for alkalinity and to try to neutralize and shift out pH. Excuse me, I have, let me grab some water here. I have like 8 ounces of water and like 10 or 4 or 5 ounces of mixed organic greens. They're already pre-done. You can buy them in the store. And I'll blend that up, and it should be, cold pressed juicer, but honestly they're such a pain in the ass. So I'll blend them up, and then I'll have that during the course of the day at least once to help shift alkalinity over. And the vitamin C and folic acid and the iron count from things like that are just off the scale. And they're like 20 calories or 30 calories. So really, the caloric to the nutritional content is just insane. I would use all the time if I had the time to do that, if I could be at home all the time, but what fun would that be either? So just general ideas on better things to do for your body. And detoxing doesn't have to be done from the place that I'm discussing. Talk to friends that have detoxed. Any sorts of detox teas you can get on, as long as they're all organic. I like the one that I got and that I continue to get from Dr. Schultz, in that it's organic and wild harvest, so they go out and actually grab in the real world, some of the ingredients that go in there, so that they're not farmed or anything like that. And he's very anal. I mean, he really puts a lot of herbs for his stuff, and he makes tinctures of things if you don't want to take the time to make teas. And a lot of those are, externally beneficial to have just a couple of squirts of those in some water and drink them. And, it's passively detox yourself. And he has like 5-day programs where you can do 5-day liver program, you can do 5-day kidney program, 5-day intestinal detox, and so on and so forth. And those types of things are highly recommended. Colonics, most people shy away from that. But, basically, since the digestive tract is your biggest organ, some 25, 30 feet for the average person, it is the largest organ in your body, and nobody ever cleans it out. Sometimes people that have had illnesses for a long time do a colonic or two, and then they're like, wow, I feel so much better. Not cured necessarily, but feeling much, much, much better. So that's a part of detoxing, along with a lot of other things. And just being mindful of the water, and if you can, it is something that is a topic all of its own. But pH, to monitor your pH, you are an organism burning at nearly 100 degrees, and if you create a particular pH in your body and are mindful of it during the course of the day, it kind of tracks to be at certain places at certain times of the day. At least that's a general thought that I've had from most people that I respect, is that, organisms, at least the ones that don't belong in your body, can't live in a more neutral pH. They like the more aggressive ends of pH, too high, too low. So like, regular viruses and cold and flu and whatnot, don't tend to take hold. And if you're cleaning out your liver and making it easier for your body to tend to things that need to be repaired in your body rather than to deal with toxins, it has more ability for your immune system to do things for things that are, that you're getting into your body, like viruses, cold, flu, that type of thing. It makes it easier for them to fend them off, at least in my personal opinion. In my personal life and my lifestyle, if I eat crappy, and every once in a while I do, I certainly do feel it, and you can really do feel the difference in your mental capacity and your energy and your energetic state. If you're really mindful and you're meditating and you're trying to reinstate the diamond light body, the light body, and be more in the now, it is, I wouldn't say imperative, because it's your universe, it's you and your universe. You can do whatever you want. But if that is your goal, is to be more mindful of this, then, research more of those things, ask questions, ask me questions, ask somebody you respect questions, find out more, especially about detoxing and things and topics like that. And Dr. Schultz, and I'll put his website down below, has some fascinating materials, very detailed stuff on all of his programs. You actually get the books for each one when you do like a liver detox and stuff like that. You get the book for that, and it discusses why, how, and the whole biochemical things that go on, if you're curious about that, or if you just want to know that it makes things better. You know, it's basically to whatever extent that you want. So it is a very fascinating topic altogether, and it's one that people go on, you know, there's so much material out there on this, and I would suggest that you find one that suits you best and that, you know, excites you. You know, if you are going to go, oh damn, I have to detox today, then that might not be as beneficial as you might think. It should be organic within the process of the day. It should be something that should be fun, should be something that should be effortless. If it's exciting to make some tea, make some tea. If you rather get a tenter, you know, the 1 or 2 ounce tenter that was already pre-done for you, and just put some that you can take a couple times a day, and that's exciting to you, then do that. Basically, that's what it comes down to, is following your highest excitement and doing the things that excite you the most. And through synchronicity, the more exciting things, more exciting things, more exciting things, more exciting things will happen and happen and happen. Since I've been making these videos, I've already had some more exciting things come up, and a lot more interesting things. I had avenues to do one type of thing, and a whole different track of things have come up that I consider a lot more interesting, a lot more fun to me, and because I followed my highest excitement and wanted to share, those types of things came up. So the physical mind doesn't have the ability to know how things are going to happen. It was only designed, from my understanding, to know what is happening, just to enjoy the physical experience and to be here in the now. That's what's going to happen, is the preview of the higher mind. It's how you compartmentalize yourself in this particular occasion, in this particular physical reality. Is you know, right here, right now, you want to see what's going on, and you know, you fight with the ego to say, hey, I think we should do this, we should do that, and he goes like, well, I can't protect you if you're not going to let me know that things are structured and happen a certain way. And there's a lot of ego negotiation that needs to go on with those types of things. So I hope that was helpful for you. I have a lot of other things that I do during the course of the day, you know, some detoxing and mining pHs and what kind of water and whatnot. And there's all these ideas of different types of water, and I like alkaline water and whatnot. And I think if you're monitoring your pHs, you kind of know what you need when you need it. And you know, you can monitor them. You can get these little things that the dentist use to check your pH and stuff like that, and other even pools and stuff like that. You know, you put it on your tongue or anything like that, but you can apply some saliva to it. But the naturopaths and people like that, they pretty much have those processes down. Rely on people that do that for a living to guide you, or you know, people that you trust that have done it. You know, don't glean it from a short video. You know, do some research on it, and have a session with someone that actually does that for a living. And you know, I hope that was helpful. I think that's everything that I felt that I needed to share. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to put a couple links down below that will be useful. Link to the foundation. I need to put a section on the foundation on detoxing as well. I'll work on that in the future. That seems like a good thing to share. Thank you very much. Love and light.